There's a lot of last minute scrambling and craziness going on as anticipated. I could just totally get picked off, and it would be tough to find recourse from it, but I could also be in a decent position if I just kind of go with the flow for a couple of votes. So I'm not really sure the best way to maneuver my situation right now. I really thought that Indy was going to try to make a move because, I don't know, somewhere in my brain I thought Indy was going to do something. That's how that goes. My prediction of him becoming this boot here, this second boot at the merge, is null and void. Indy is safe, despite the fact that I sent him 2 messages before he responded to me. Hello? I don't care how busy you are. Send me a message, respond to my 1 message. Stop trying to tell me that things are going on and not taking the time to give me anything more than that. Like, he can't say to me, hey, Rock, I think the power structure in Skywalker is pretty crazy, but I'm not sure why, or who's doing what, or blah, 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 blah. Because you know what? That doesn't make me want to work with you. It makes me want to vote you out. I do not want to vote anyone out in this game more than you, Indiana. And we were OG Stallion tribe mates, and I want you gone. The person I trust the most in the game now is probably going to be Darth Vader, because we are in the same exact position where we are clubber supporters by reputation, but we were both anti the clubber movement. But we also didn't just get scooped up into the Skywalker faction that Inigo got scooped up into because of his relationship with Miyagi. Whereas now it feels like Inigo is not even my tribe mate for however many weeks. It feels like he was totally separate from me. And I feel like I trust Luke more than I trust him, to be honest with you. And Luke's going to go home tonight, and there's literally nothing I can do about it. So there's no way that I want Luke to go home tonight. But there's nothing I can do to stop this from happening. Just nothing. Even if this crazy plan... So Darth outlines this crazy plan to me through PMs. He says, what if me, you, Luke, Freddy, and Mike force a tie and we save Luke? Because if Luke goes home, then Freddy's going to go home, then we're going to go home, essentially. And he's right. Essentially, on the outset, that's how things look like they're going to go. They're probably not going to go that way because I think there's going to be some type of change in the dynamics, but... it certainly doesn't look good for us if the circumstances go the way they seem to be going currently. The problem is this is never going to work. We're at Final 10. Mike Myers, whom I love, and I have a lot of faith in him and his ability to play the game, he is not going to make a move against the other side so early. He's not going to make a move where it involves forcing a tie. Even if he won immunity, I don't think he would do that. And it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's just no way. It doesn't make any sense. Listen, if it made sense and people were on board and they were going to force a tie, you know what I'd do? I'd force a tie. I'd draw rocks. I already did it once. I might as well do it again, right? I need to be screaming at me from behind your computer about what a stupid move it was and what was wrong with all of us. And I mean, you would be right. It would be an awful move. Drawing rocks would be stupid at this point for anybody, except for Luke and maybe Freddy. But I'd do it. But I'm not going to find the people behind me to help me do it. So there will be no rock draw tonight. Despite the fact that Luke may think it's a possibility. Because I told him it was a possibility. Because I told him if he had the numbers, I would totally draw rocks for him. But here's the problem. No one knows who votes for who. So I can vote for Luke all I want. He can go home unanimously. And as he is walking out the door, I can tell him, God, Luke, I voted for you to stay. I swear, Luke, I voted with you. But I don't want to vote with Luke. Let's be honest. Luke's going home tonight. There's nothing I can do. The end. The end of his story. Sucks. Sucks for me. Sucks for Darth. Sucks for Luke. Sucks for the people who I like and kind of want to play the game with. I'm kind of in a minority position here, which is, I don't know, not necessarily a situation I'm used to being in. But regardless, it's fine. I'm going to move on from that. So Luke's going to go home tonight, and Freddy is a backup target, which I have not talked to Freddy about yet, but you better believe when I finish this video confessional, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to message Freddy, and I'm going to tell him he's a backup target. Know why? Because I want Freddy to trust me more than anyone in the game. Freddy and I do not have long conversations, ever, but I I need him to be more loyal to me than he is to the Chianti people who voted him into Cave Council way back in the day. So I just want him to know that those people have his name in their mouths and that I don't. And that I support Freddie and I'm going to keep his best interest at heart because Darth is right. If Luke goes and then Freddie goes, yes, someone might want to make a move then, but someone could also say, hey, it's going to be super, super easy for us to just take out Rocky and Darth too. Why not? Why not take out Rocky and Darth too? There's no reason not to. At this point, we've already taken out the rest of their allies, so I don't want that to happen. There needs to be a move at Final 9 that is not a move wherein the Skywalker faction, Skywalker plus Inigo, Skywalker minus Luke, the tribe's namesake, plus Inigo. I can't have another vote of them voting together because then they're going to get into the situation where they're in this power position and they just keep doing the things that are easy because no one wants to do anything that's hard. They've already made hard moves. They took out Bastion, they took out Hannibal. They obviously have it in them. But so far, these first two votes are going to be pagonging in their mind. That can only continue for so long. There's so much left to be played in this game. And the thing that's going to be the turning point and what's going to change this whole game is the Jason and Michael situation. I think the turning point is going to be the relationship between Jason and Michael, and when we kind of get a turn between the two of them, where their friendship, their alliance, their bond, their pair crumbles. Okay, here's the situation. You have these two people who have been together since day one. Okay? They're a pair. They have voted out another person they've been with since day one. They've been strong. They've been together the whole game. They're obviously working together, and they're not making a huge point to hide it, because every time you talk to one of them, they say, oh, Jason likes you too. Oh, Michael likes you too. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, I get it. You guys are a pair. That's great. I'm fine with you being a pair, and I would like you to stay a pair and be in the game and be ahead of me. Right? Logical, good gameplay. Keep a bigger target in the game. That's Michael and Jason. Work with a bigger target. That's Michael and Jason. People are going to want to target Michael and Jason because they're a pair at some point. But before people decide to target Michael and Jason because they're a pair, I think that Michael or Jason are going to target each other. And here's how I think it's going to go down. Here's my fanfiction. You ready? Michael has been in this partnership with Jason since day one. They are close, friendly allies, both great at the game. Great talkers, good conversationalists, smart strategists, great. I mean, I went back and I read a couple of my old confessionals because you had mentioned in my confessional that I said I was going to be the merge boot, and I wasn't. So I went back and I read some of my earlier confessionals, and I was so high on Mike early on, and the reason why is because he's a good talker and he's a smart game player. So the thing that I think is going to happen is I think Mike is sitting here in this pair with Jason where everyone says, Jason is a power player. Jason's running the show. Jason is making all the decisions. Blah, 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 Jason, blah, 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 blah. I think eventually Mike's going to get to the point where he says, I'm kind of tired of this. I'm kind of tired of people giving Jason all this credit for all these moves that I've made with him. Now, don't get me wrong. Mike shouldn't necessarily think this logically. If he wants to win the game and get to the end of the game, he should want people to target Jason and blah, 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 Jason get the credit, whatever, until the very end. But I don't think it works that way in the game. I think we're going to get to the point where Michael's going to say, you know what, I'm kind of sick of hearing people talk about Jason. I got to take him out. I got to let him go. And I think that is coming sooner than later. I think Mike is going to want to make a move on Jason. And then at that point, Darth and I can pick a side and go with that side, essentially. Obviously, we want to pick the right side, but I can tell you right now, the side I want to pick is Mike. I want to roll with Mike and run the table with him. I just think he's a smart player. I'd be happy to see him at the end of the game. I think Jason's a good player too, but I think Jason's too good, and people have realized he's too good, and he can send me messages all he wants telling me how vulnerable he feels and blah, 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 blah. But I don't believe it for a second. That guy is set up, and everyone in the game knows he's set up, and that's why no one wants to make a move against him yet. Everyone wants to be with him and not against him. But at some point, someone's going to have to be against him. And these are the people who voted out Bastion and Hannibal, so they're going to be willing to make that move at some point, and I just need to make sure that I'm here to make the move with them so that I can, hang around for a little longer. Still no delusions about winning the game. Not necessarily playing to win the game, but I'd like to have a bit of a narrative here as we are going into the merge and getting into the lower numbers, and I do not necessarily feel like I have much of a narrative other than being in the minority and kind of having to figure out a way to get myself in a better position. And right now that is by trying to align with everybody in the game and hoping for the best with the people I really want to align with.
Yeah. Speed! Come on. That'll be a slide. 59! One more push!
Till next time.